There's a silent pandemic happening in the modern age, and chances are it's affecting your child. The good news, there's an easy cure. The bad news, it's probably being overlooked by your pediatrician, your family doctor, and your pediatric dentist. Hi, I'm Dr. Sean Carlson. I practice here in Marin County, California. I've been treating children for over 25 years. As a Harvard-educated orthodontist, I travel the world lecturing, teaching doctors on this very common but widely overlooked problem, and that's underdevelopment of the upper jaw. Now, there's many theories as to why upper jaws are no longer developing to the size that they used to. Modern diets, lack of nasal breathing, bottle feeding, even environmental factors. But no matter the cause, the result is the same. Underdeveloped jaws are causing real lifelong problems for kids. And unfortunately, the solutions to these problems are still poorly understood, even among professionals. Pediatricians, dentists, orthodontists, we should be the front line in treating these issues, but most of us were not properly trained. We don't understand it well enough to treat it appropriately. The result? Widespread underexpansion by most orthodontists based on how we were trained, unnecessary extraction of adult teeth, avoidable complex impactions of maxillary canines, poor airway health and disturbed sleep quality, and poor smile aesthetics and lip support. All of these problems are completely preventable when your doctor knows how to look for the right things and expands appropriately. When your doctor understands the problem and catches it early enough, the solution is simple. It doesn't require surgery. It doesn't require aggressive appliances. It simply requires understanding the amount of expansion necessary and using gentle appliances to naturally guide the expansion of the upper jaw the appropriate amount, while the bones are still soft, while it's easy to readjust Mother Nature to the right jaw width. In the next few minutes, I will show you how to recognize the signs, what questions to ask your doctor, and how to ensure that your child is getting the right amount of expansion for their unique anatomy. And we want to give you these simple solutions so you know how to act before it's too late. It's very easy to get your child's jaw back on the right track, and we're going to show you how. Let's first go over how to recognize the signs of an underdeveloped upper jaw. First thing I want you to do is look at your child's front teeth and see if their teeth look like this, or this, or this. If they do, chances are your child has an underdeveloped upper jaw. Now, if you want to get a bit more technical, there's a simple measurement you can do at home, and you just need a business card or a credit card to do this simple evaluation. The upper jaw should be a nice broad U shape, just like you see on this model. And if you hold that up to the very, very last teeth in the jaw, the upper jaw should be wider than the business card. Very easy. Most of the time, you're going to find that your child does not have a jaw size that's nice and broad like that, but they have a jaw that's very narrow. And so the difference in those jaws mean that your child does have a narrow upper jaw. Best thing to do is make sure that your child is screened by an orthodontist. We can do these measurements very quickly. But the majority of cases that I see as an orthodontist, 95% of them, the orthodontic problems are due to constricted or narrow upper jaws. Okay, so you've determined your child does have an underdeveloped upper jaw. Now it's time to get it treated. So there's two questions I want you to keep in mind when you go in to see the doctor about treating your child and expanding the upper jaw the appropriate amount. The first question I want you to ask is, how much are you going to expand? And how do you determine that amount? Now, as orthodontists, we're trained with a typical protocol that's usually 5 to 6 weeks. I will tell you that is not enough in 90% of cases. And the reason is it doesn't take into account your child's actual anatomy. So the first question to ask is, how much are you going to expand and how do you determine that amount? If it's a typical 5 to 6 weeks of expansion, it is almost certainly not enough. The second question I want you to ask is, how do you take into account of the lower teeth and the lower jaw? How do you factor that into your expansion? If your treating doctor is not taking into account the lower dentition, they're probably underexpanding. Your child does not have to fall victim to this widespread pandemic. Using these few simple tips, it's easy to make sure that your child's jaw develops to the appropriate amount. It's important to ask the right questions. It's important to get this done at the right time. So use these helpful tips. We hope it helps you on your journey to the best anatomical jaw development and the best and most healthy smiles. Thank you for watching the video. We look forward to helping you and your child on their smile journey. If you're already a parent or patient in our practice, we're so glad you're here. Our approach is built around making you feel supported, informed, and cared for every step of the way. We can't wait to see you here in the office. Until then, be well and smile more.